Do I need a microphone or not? Oh, this one? Okay. Okay. Are we supposed to ring the bell? Supposed to ring the bell? Just do it? Okay. Just read the announcements? Okay. Yep. Welcome to Namakwa Unitarian Universalist Congregation. This is a come as you are congregation, no matter who you are, what your faith, who you love, or you are welcome here. I want to extend our special welcome to our visitors. We're glad that you're here, and we'd love you to stay connected. So please sign up to our communications at the main entrance. The Namakwa Unitarian Universalist Congregation fosters a beloved community that celebrates diversity, strives for peace and justice, acts mindfully for the good of the planet, and inspires spiritual growth through the free and loving search for truth and meaning. We acknowledge that the land we are on is traditional and ancestral land and homeland of the Arapaho, Cheyenne, and Ute nations and peoples. We recognize and honor the indigenous peoples as original stewards of the land and vow to reconcile the deep wounds that still shape our world today. For joys and sorrows, we have pieces of paper to gather your comments. Please use them to write down your brief personal sharing and put it in the collection for the offering. These will be read during the joys and sorrows. Are they at the back? They're at the back of the auditorium. Please pick up a bag for donations. The bag will go to your anonymous person. Inside each bag is a sticker logo on it. Please stick it to the front of the bag. You will also have a piece of paper in it to draw your person a picture or write a personal note. Feel free to do this during the service. We will find these up after the service. We will fill these up after the service. If you have food and supply donations, please bring them forward now. Food over there and supplies over there. Food, supplies. You are invited to lunch with the community building ministry, looking to get to know others. Join us next week after service at Tacos at the Foundry in Loveland. Next Sunday, Pedro Lopez, Mim Neal, and the return of our music director Ryan Marvel for the Labor Day service. We work together. Labor Day is not about furniture sales. Join us for the reflection on where we are, where we want to be, and where we want to go, who we are in the world, and we recommit to social justice. September 10th, Gathering of the Water service. This is our official kickoff to the 23-24 church year. Join the water communion following the barbecue at Kathy Hartman's house, very near here. A brief input gathering service and a lot of fun. Thanks to everyone involved in today's service. Presenter Dana Lightsey, me, Fred Schrekinger, musicians Stephen Nye guitar, Zoom Katie Fox, audio Clay Roper, and ushers Loretta Hogue and Sharon Noor. Okay. Okay. Now, what's the first thing here? Oh, see, okay.
Good morning, everyone. I would like to share a reading with you by Rebecca Edmonston Lang. Some people say that Jesus is the light of the world. Well, we all can be the light of the world if we just seek to act in ways that enlarge the realms of love and justice. When we share another's pain or offer a comforting ear to a friend in need, we are the light of the world. when we give bread to the hungry or when we give bread to the hungry or support ways to house the homeless, we are the light of the world. Join me in that? We are the light of the world. When we fight temptations to wrongdoing within ourselves and treat our neighbors with respect, we are the light of the world. When we try to overcome differences with understanding and solve conflict with peaceful means, we are the light of the world. When we look for the good in other people and in ourselves, we are the light of the world. When we do not stay quiet in the face of prejudice, but speak our minds firmly and yet kindly, we are the light of the world. When we fight despair within ourselves and side with hope, we are the light of the world. When we use our powers justly and in the service of love for humanity, we are the light of the world. Amen and amen. And as those beautiful lights of the world that you are, please join with me in saying our morning affirmation. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its calling. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. And I invite you now to turn and greet those around you with that great love you have in your heart. Gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with. Let's sing it. Gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with. Don't give up hope. You're not alone. Don't you give up. Keep moving on. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with. Let's stand. God, put one foot in front of the other and lead. Yeah, clap. Sing it again. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead. There we go. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Lift up your eyes. Don't you despair. Look up ahead. The path is there. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other next to you. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Thank you. Be seated. I think if you haven't already picked up a bag, please be sure and pick one up in the back. And, oh, great. And if you need a joy and sorrow form, we have them in the back too. I meant to put a piece, just blank paper out for you to, oh, good. So I don't know if you got blank paper with you. See, somebody's way ahead of me. Right on, Loretta. Just making sure. If anybody needs extra paper, here we go. Okay. So now is our time for a story for all ages. Avery, you want to come up? Anybody else want to come up? All right. My helper is here. Thank you. Well, you want to come stand next to me? I know it's kind of hard to get through. Awesome. How are you doing? It's good to see you. So, how would you define somebody who's homeless?
Someone that just isn't afford stuff that other people can.
Okay, can't afford something that other people can, like especially living in a home, right? And yet, so often, well, we used to call them homeless people, but our language has changed around that because that's kind of a label. So it's just someone who at that time is experiencing homelessness. But we forget that they're real human beings. And so we're changing our language to saying a person. They are a person, a human being who's experiencing homelessness at that time. And you've noticed homeless people around town before? Yeah. And clearly they're going through some difficult times, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're a bad person. So often in our culture, we label them as bad people, people that you can't trust. And clearly they have big problems, but we're here to help them. If you were having a problem, wouldn't you want somebody to be kind to you and help you? Yeah, me too. You too? Yeah. So I have a special meditation for us. It's called the mac and cheese meditation that I made up. Okay. Let's see. Shall we take this box apart and take one of these out? Let's do it. Okay. All right, the special mac and cheese meditation. Do you love mac and cheese? I know. I'm not sure that I know of anyone who doesn't love mac and cheese. I know my granddaughters, that's always the first thing they ask for. What do you want for lunch? Mac and cheese and nuggets. So, turns out that these are a great thing to donate because all you have to do is put hot water in them, and you can do that at a convenience store and pop it in the microwave, or cold water and pop it in the microwave. So I want you now to just maybe close your eyes for a moment and think of someone that you imagine is a homeless person, someone, who is experiencing homelessness. Maybe someone you know or have known in the past, or just an imaginary person. And imagine that they are really hungry, and you tell this person hello, and you actually look into their eyes and connect with them. They seem like a nice person, but they are sad because they are hungry and they don't have any food and they are scared. And you offer to give them this mac and cheese because you want them to feel better and have some yummy food. And this makes them very happy, and they thank you as they go off to heat it up and eat it. Now, how does this make you feel? Are you happy because you were able to help? And do you feel good about caring for someone else who is in need? Avery, do you have any thoughts about that?
I feel happy about helping someone that needs it.
It makes you feel happy too. Good. Well, and you've probably been taught not to talk to strangers, so that's definitely a good practice. Yeah, definitely a good practice. And so the bags that we are preparing today are going to be going to Homeward Alliance, and they will be distributing these bags to the people that need them the most. So we're grateful for their help. And if there are donations that don't fit in bags, we will just take those right to Homeward Alliance, and they will make good use of anything that you've brought today, I am sure. Okay. So one more thing that I need your help. I think that we should bless all of this food and all of these great donations. So let's all put our hands out. Just put our hands out and let's just imagine all the goodwill and blessings and hopes and wishes going out from our hearts and through our hands and blessing all of this. Spirit of life and love, we give these gifts to those in need whom we do not know. And along with these gifts, we send our blessings of love and goodwill to each person so that their difficulties may ease and they find a home to live in. May it be so. Amen. Thank you. Thanks for your help. You know what we're going to do after the service is all of us are going to take our one bag and we're going to kind of come up and shop for our person. Okay, so I want you to imagine throughout the service the one person that you are shopping for, that is the person that you are caring about today, okay, that will get the bag that you have. We have 45 bags, and I think the large majority of them are out, so I think we're doing pretty good. Thanks for your help. Oh, wait, thank you. Not all of us can eat it. It's good, though. I just wanted to say a bit of clarification that Els asked me about. In your order of service, you have this donation list, which is much more extensive than the list that we send out in the announcements. And that's because this list is from Homeward Alliance, and we're creating personal donation bags for individuals today. But this is for the homeless shelter and all the stuff that they need. So, you know, maybe we should do a follow-up donation drive for all of these items. And if you brought stuff for this, I will make sure it gets to Homeward Alliance, okay? So that's the difference between our lists.
I have one further announcement. This Friday is September 1st. Those of us who have signed up to serve at the community kitchen, please meet there at 427 Garfield at 4 o'clock. It will be a meaningful and fun experience. Okay. I'm going to say homeless, but the first thing I'll say is myths about people experiencing homelessness. I volunteered for 5 years at Homeward Alliance prior to the pandemic. That is the source of my information about opinions and myths about homeless people. There are many myths, but I will focus on a few of them. One myth is that people are homeless because they don't have a job. Some homeless people do have a job. As a matter of fact, they just don't have enough money to live anywhere. The minimum wage federal hasn't gone up since 1978. And the Colorado, I don't know when it went up, but recently to $13 an hour. But to move into someplace, you need the first month's rent and a security deposit, and some of them want the last month's rent too. Another one that you hear, and believe it or not, some people say that a lot of people are homeless because they like being homeless. It's not true. Nobody wants to be homeless. You know, your whole life is spending the day figuring out where you're going to sleep, where you're going to go to the bathroom, where you're going to live. Nobody wants to be homeless. Some people are reconciled to it, but they don't want to be out when it's hot as hell and cold as hell in the winter. Okay. Obvious reasons for homelessness are no education or training. More subtle reasons is difficulty finding work, is poor dental work, or poorly placed tattoos. Some people at one point in their life want a tattoo on their face, and it's kind of a permanent stigma. It's hard to not look homeless when you're missing teeth. Another myth is that homeless people are dangerous. They're actually more meek, often meek. They're opposite of aggressive. Prospective employers would prefer people be a little bit more confident and aggressive. I worked in the clothing and gear department for 3 years or more, and we had a panic button to push if we were in danger. I only hit it twice, and both times were when homeless people were having seizures for medical help. One of the many myths is that homeless people flock to Fort Collins and Loveland because there are superior services here available. There are actually. Fort Collins and Loveland have great services for homeless people. Actually good, but statistics are that there are no influxes. Homeless people don't think that way, and they can't do it anyway. They're not going to drive down from Minneapolis to take advantage of our homeless services, or even Denver. Our homeless services are people from Loveland and Fort Collins. Another myth is that homeless people take up too many police and city resources. All I've heard is, aside from the homeless, I know that I know one person who was repeatedly arrested for smoking marijuana, and he told the judge, I live in public, I have to smoke in public, but he still get arrested. Without statistics or other information, my opinion carries little weight, but I do know that police exercising discretion probably have the most power in the whole system. They can either start a case or end it right there. Police have the most discretion in the system. They do have the discretion, if they want to, not to arrest somebody. If they choose to do that, they save money for the state at all levels, many levels. So in any case, I don't know what the statistics are. I don't know how much they do or don't abuse it, but for the level of danger, I think they probably could just let a lot of people go.
As you know, every Sunday when we take our morning offering, we share it. We share half of our plate with another nonprofit that our social justice team and you have voted on as a priority. This is our last Sunday for taking donations for CIRC, Colorado Immigration Rights Coalition. And if you don't know about CIRC, they are a membership-based coalition of immigrant, faith, and labor, youth, community, business, and ally organizations founded back in 2002. And they work hard to improve the lives of immigrants and refugees by making Colorado a more welcoming, immigrant-friendly state. And I can tell you that I have worked directly with CIRC, with a number of immigrants who are struggling with ICE and with other organizations, and they are incredibly helpful and supportive, and they keep people out of detention centers and give them the help that they need. And if you consider homelessness, immigrants are top targets for becoming people experiencing homelessness. So please do give generously in support of immigration rights. Thank you. And my husband, Steve Nye, on the guitar, and I are going to share a song I wrote called Slow Down to the Speed of Love. And you're welcome to sing along on the chorus and the bridge. If you feel like it, that'd be great. Slow down to the speed of love. Slow down to the speed of love. Slow down to the speed of love. Slow down. Slow down. When was the last time I looked into your face and saw your spirit in your eyes? When was the last time I listened deeply to who you are with an open and loving heart? Slow down to the speed of love. Slow down to the speed of love. Slow down to the speed of love. Slow down. Slow down. When was the last time my heart was moved to tears from the beauty of being alive? When was the last time I shined the light from my soul and shared my gifts with this world? We are better together when we care for each other. We are better together when we connect from the heart. We are better together when we care for each other. We are better together when we connect from the heart. When is the next time I show up for other people as a companion and not a hero? When is the next time love moves me to work to heal this broken world? We are better together when we care for each other. We are better together when we connect from the heart. We are better together when we care for each other.
together, when we connect from the heart, slow down to the speed of love, slow down to the speed of love, slow down to the speed of love, slow down, slow down.
It's gone off. It's off. Yeah. I mean, it's off on your end.
I was feeling a little off.
Okay, there we go. Okay. It's one of those days. Okay. So thank you very much for all of the ways that you support our ministries and the art organizations that we work with. Great, thank you very much. Okay. Great. Okay. Thank you. I think it'll be easier to manage if I come over here. By the way, this was laying out in the grass. This is anybody's. Is that yours? All right. Okay. Okay. All right. This is. So we have a joy for joys and sorrows. Thank you for experimenting with this on a new way to do our joys and sorrows. Fran Green says her granddaughter Vivian will be 5 on the 31st. How exciting. That'll be a fun birthday too. Yeah. And a great note from Bruce Croissant that he's back. Woohoo! Bruce, so good to see you. Bruce is just recovering from heart surgery. You look great, dude. And from Janet, she got another kwai. I call her Barbie because she's perfect and she stands up for herself. She doesn't let anybody bully her. So good for her. I think those are all of our joys and sorrow messages, but I want to invite us to take a few moments to think about Maui. Boy, the situation just gets more and more heartbreaking by the day, and I have a dear friend who lives on Maui. She's a dance leader with Dances Universal Peace. And she sent on Facebook a quote from Ram Dass, who also had lived on Maui for quite some time. And this quote says, "Bearing the unbearable is the deepest root of compassion in the world. Bearing the unbearable is the deepest root of compassion in the world. When you bear what you think you cannot bear, who you think you are dies." Let me say that again. When you bear what you think you cannot bear, who you think you are dies. You become compassion. You don't have compassion, you are compassion. True compassion goes beyond empathy to being with the experience of another. You become an instrument of compassion. So may we all be that instrument of compassion for Maui and for all of the countless people who are suffering loss and the loss of life and heartbreak. And may we hold all of the unspoken joys and sorrows in our hearts, knowing that this is the heart of our community, the lives of our individuals, and all that everyone endures from day to day, and all that brings you joy. May we share our love with each other and our compassion. Amen. So throughout my life, and probably yours too, I've heard the phrase, "What is wrong with you?" Like, what is wrong with you? I'm going to turn this fan off to make it easier to hear. Ah, okay, thank you. That was helpful, whoever set it up, but that's better, thanks. So throughout my life, and probably yours too, I have heard the phrase, "What is wrong with you?" When I or someone else makes a mistake or can't keep up, I was always the little sister, "What's wrong with you? Why can't you keep up?" Or can't think of or perform the way that people expect you to. What is wrong with you? Well, that question is a judgment, and it is a declaration that something is wrong in a way that can only be right or wrong. Good or bad, acceptable or rejected. So I see this mindset as really coming from our Protestant heritage, the Puritans and our ancestors. Either you were a saint, worthy of being saved, or you were a sinner, someone beyond help, worthy of rejection. And that's it. And if you had problems in your life, then somewhere you were an unworthy person. In this mindset, the victim gets blamed. And when it comes to homelessness, we see this playing out all the time. As Fred was talking about earlier, they drain the welfare system. I don't know if you've heard recently this song that's really popular with right-wing conservatives right now that just came out, Rich Boys North of Richmond, or North of Richmond. It's a song. And it exemplifies this attitude of blaming the victims. And yet, there's an amazing book called What Happened to You? Conversations on Trauma, Resilience, and Healing by Bruce Perry and Oprah Winfrey. And this book illustrates a whole different way of thinking that I have been trying to find the words to put together for a while. You see, the question isn't what's wrong with you, it's what happened to you? What happened to you? And this question is based on recognizing someone's suffering and genuinely wanting to hear their story. The question, what happened to you, is one of care and compassion. This question opens the path to building bonds of friendship, and this is the powerful, magical medicine that heals. There's a Unitarian Universalist by the name of Barbara Myers, who is a therapist and who works with entire congregations and coaches clergy and others. She's really cool. And she wrote a book called Held, Showing Up for Each Other's Mental Health. And in that book, she shares this. Dr. Mark Reagans is a staff psychiatrist at The Village, an integrated service agency in Long Beach, California, that is renowned for his success in treating difficult psychiatric cases, often involving homelessness, schizophrenia, and substance abuse. And he says, when I ask psychiatric patients who have done well what I did to help them, they almost always recount some moment of human connection. It was when you hugged me and I could tell you knew how much it pained me to have my child taken away. It was when you believed in me when I couldn't believe in myself. It was when you lent me $5 even though you're not supposed to. It was when you drove me home from the hospital in your car even though I was really smelly. It was when I knew you really cared and you wouldn't give up on me. In other words, it was when they were the recipient of an act of human kindness, or when someone believed in them. These moments are what helped in healing. We can see someone inside them that they aren't able to see themselves. We, you and I, can give acceptance and love even when an illness is untreated or a person is feeling hopeless. And these may be the central factors to recovery. So I know that today is just a drop in the bucket, but what a great bucket we have going. Wow, this is wonderful. It is a beginning. It's not the check, we helped homeless people, check that off our list. It is just a beginning. It is a beginning of building this relationship, of opening our hearts, of growing this compassion. The power of taking action today isn't just about helping those experiencing homelessness in Loveland. It is about waking up that compassion within ourselves and each other, reminding us how it feels to make a tangible and meaningful difference in people's lives. This can be transformational for those receiving it, and it is also transformational for us. Today, the message is not anything I'm saying. The message is you and the actions that you take. Very loud cricket. The message today is all of this. So what we are doing here is only one of our efforts. Doug Stewart, there we are, he's up in the balcony. Doug is heading up a team of people from Namakwa to build an enclosure around a porta potty at Zion Lutheran Church as part of Namakwa's support for the Safe Parking Lot Initiative with the City of Loveland. The program allows people experiencing homelessness who have cars to spend the night in their very large parking lot, in a safe parking lot. St. Spiridon Greek Orthodox Church has already begun this program. Obviously, we don't have a parking lot, so we can't really do that, but we can support their efforts in every way that we can. And this is one way we can. So thank you, Doug, for leading that up. We have a number of volunteers, as you heard earlier, who have volunteered to help serve meals at Community Kitchen on First Fridays. So our first one's coming right up. And we continue to work through Together Colorado, which allows us to advocate at the state level on behalf of those experiencing homelessness and other forms of poverty, discrimination, and oppression. These are the blessings that matter. This work is the blessing that matters, the way that we bless the world. And our lives are also blessed from living as people who care and who are compassion. May we all continue to make it so. Amen. I invite you to rise in body or spirit and join us together in singing Love Will Guide Us. I just wanted to play this. Here we go. Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night. But if you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night. Thanks for letting me play today. So as soon as, you may sit down. As soon as we're done in 2 seconds here, I'm going to invite us to come up, just make a line and come up and start shopping for your person and gathering up whatever items you think needs to be gathered. Some things are still in big boxes, but go ahead and break those open and take out the individual servings of something, or bars of soap or whatever it is. And we all just chime in. Once you're done shopping for your person, just tie the handles together. And I think, yeah, just tie the handles together, and then let's leave them. We want to make sure people can get out, but maybe by the entrance there, we can do that. Under the table, that's a good place to start. And on the table, yeah, that's good. Thank you. And we do have a few other bags if anybody wants to shop for 2 people, that would be great. So I have a short quote that I dearly love that I want to share with you as our closing words. If you have come here to help me, you are wasting your time. I forgot to tell you, this is by Lilla Watson, who is an Indigenous educator from Australia. If you have come here to help me, you are wasting your time. But if you have come here because your liberation is bound up with mine, then let us work together. We're here to work together. May it be so. Thank you, my friends. Okay. So please come on up and take your turn gathering up some items.